Well, we did it. The last video of 2021. Figured we would go out with a bang. We're going to be going over 10 intoxicating, sexy, classy, and masculine fragrances that are going to get you all of the attention in the new year. These fragrances are fit for a king. These all have a masculine kind of maturity about them, but they also are sexy and with some of these ever so slightly playful. Like always, try to throw in a mix. We have some that are a little bit fresh leaning, but primarily these are going to be more woody and spicy. Not necessarily sweet, some of these are, but again, more woods focused. I find for me, whenever it comes to thinking about and picking out a classy men's fragrance, I tend to go for the woods and the spices. They're kind of warm, inviting, and very masculine. And again, it's been a great year. We've hit a lot of milestones on the channel here this year, hitting 100,000. That was amazing, and so many other things that I have no one else to thank but you guys. So thank you for sticking along with me, hanging in there with me during this ride. You guys have changed my life. So I just want to thank you, and I am fired up for next year. Next year is going to be great. So let's just jump right into this one here. First up, we have Cartier Declaration Parfum. Spices, cardamom, leather, woods are going to be some of the main notes. I wasn't lying here when I was talking about the spices. This fragrance here, this is a mind blower. It's dry, it's spicy, it's woody, it's masculine. Smells fantastic. There's a little bit of a syrupy sweetness about it, but it's very toned back. It's not like a sweet fragrance. Again, that's just kind of one little facet of this one. It's all about the spices. That cardamom gives it an oriental touch. The leather in here gives it a nice masculine feel, kind of rugged. Smells so nice. Spicy up top from the cinnamon. This fragrance here, this is a stunner. It's fit for a king. It has such a classy, high-end, masculine smell that I just can't get enough of it. And I will show this on camera. Something that is cool about this is that does flip down. So that's their way of preventing that from being pushed. I thought that was a cool little touch. Pretty neat. So yeah, there's that too. It's a great fragrance. You can get this one on discounters. It's not a cheapie, but it's not overwhelmingly expensive either. I think this is worth every penny if you want to smell like a king. Next up, we have Jean Paul Gaultier Essence de Parfum. Leather, cardamom, lavender, and vanilla. Talked about this one a bit too on the channel. I featured it in my buying guide for the whole lineup here. Another one that is really nice. Now, with this one in particular, what I like is that it does have these spices and some sweetness, but with a little bit of a playful aspect. A little bit. Now, if you go over to something like Le Parfum or Ultra Male to the extreme, those are very playful. This one, it is toned back. There are some notes in here which would maybe be considered to be a bit more challenging to the average person. And what I mean by that is if you were to put this and Ultra Male together side by side and have regular dudes smell it, someone that's not into fragrances, he's probably going to pick Ultra Male. At least I think so most of the time. This one does have that spiciness. It does have that richness, that kind of a spicy, masculine depth to it that a lot of other fragrances from the line don't have. I think this is one of the best, especially from a fragrance enthusiast standpoint. If Ultra Male and the original and a lot of the other flankers are just not doing it for you, you want something a little bit out there more, check out Essence de Parfum. This one here, I really enjoy. Next up, a fragrance from Ferragamo. This one is Oud. Ferragamo Oud. Leather, rum, spices, oud, tobacco. Another one with a whole bunch of woods. A nice woody depth here. Now, we're not shooting for niche quality oud. Nowhere near it. This is a synthetic oud. No shock there. It's a $50 fragrance on discounters. But it is a entry-level oud fragrance. It gives you an idea of what that note kind of smells like to some extent. Now, if you were to smell a niche level oud fragrance, they're going to be completely different, and you probably aren't going to like it if you're new. But this starts to open you up to the idea. If you cringe and cower at the sight and sound of oud in a fragrance, start here. This will give you an idea of somewhat what you could be into at a very basic level. This is where you need to start, because when you start with those niche level ouds, you're going to be put off every time, and you're probably not going to want to try them again. So start small with something like this one here, and you're going to find that it's not so bad. It's spicy, it's a bit boozy, it's woody, it has a little bit of an oriental feel from the oud note in here. I really like this fragrance, especially for the price. Typically Ferragamos are a bit on the more affordable side, less than $50, you know, 30, 25, 35 range. This one is a little bit more given just how it is, their oud fragrance. It's going to be a little bit more expensive. Quality is a little bit better here though compared to the rest of the line. I think this is a really nice one, a solid fragrance if you want something classy on a budget. So this next one is a wild card, but this is going to be for the young men out there. Something like Cartier Declaration Parfum and even this Ferragamo Oud, those may not be that attractive for a young man looking for a cologne to smell upscale and high-end, right? If you're a teenager, 18, 19, early 20s, you may not like those that much. So I have something that I can almost guarantee you will. And this, of course, is Eros Parfum. For me, by far the best flanker of Eros, because it is, believe it or not, a mature take on Eros. Still not 100% mature, still has that Eros DNA, which is very playful, but it is a step in that direction. The note breakdown is basically the same as the original. So you have the apple, the vanilla, the mint, all of that stuff. But it's a more rich, more hearty, more full-bodied version, again, with a bit more of a maturity. This one was also really quick to hit discounters. I will link it down below, so right now you can get it for about $85 for 100 ml. That is a steal right out of the gate because this one retails for $140 for 100 ml. That's pricey. The fact that you can already get it at this heavy of a discount is insane. That was really quick. Normally new releases have been taking a long time. Some new releases that came out before this one aren't even on discounters yet, so I would jump on this. Will be down below. We'll go ahead and knock out another one that is for the younger guys out there, just to get these out of the way here. This is Black XS by Paco Rabanne. Praline, lemon, cinnamon, and patchouli. This is a kind of fizzy, bright, sparkling, sweet fragrance. It has kind of a similar vibe to Pure XS, which has this fuzzy, bubbly, kind of cola, boozy smell. This has a similar feel, not a similar smell, but a similar texture, where it has this brightness, this bubbly type of smell, but with a whole bunch of sweetness also. It is, to me, kind of a unique scent. And now that may sound funny, Paco Rabanne, unique, and I'm just giving them a hard time. Paco Rabanne has created a lot of amazing fragrances, but I don't think I'm the only one that sees the comments made about a lot of Paco Rabanne fragrances. Are some of them justified? Sure. They've released some stuff that isn't appealing to the enthusiasts. They are very much appealing to the consumers, regular consumers, because of their marketing, because of the smell. But for us, a lot of them are just kind of eye rolls. This one here, though, I don't think is all that bad. I don't think it's terrible. I like it better than Invictus. I like it better than the original 1 million. There is something that is kind of cool about this one, kind of refreshing in a way. It just encapsulates a different type of sweetness, which I really think is nice. For young men, this is a very nice fragrance. That sweetness, that fresh lemon pop, that cinnamon spiciness. This is a fragrance that I know young guys are going to like, young women are going to like. If you're someone who is a bit older, you're after something more mature, go in the opposite direction of this. But for a classy scent, for a young classy guy, this one here is nice. So now we're going from one extreme to the other. Playful to very mature, down to business, no F's given type of fragrance. This one is Prada Amber Pour Homme. Patchouli, myrrh, amber, and vanilla. For me though, it's an absolute patchouli bomb. That's kind of what I get right off the top. Yep, it's there, right there. And I continue getting that into the dry down as well. It's a fragrance with, you know, some notes that would insinuate a very sweet scent, but it's not like overly sweet. It's still somehow kind of soapy and clean. And it's strange. You look at that note breakdown, you're not thinking that. But it still has this Prada, soapy, luxurious, clean, masculine, high-end, and refined smell. People kind of compare these to, you know, a fancy hotel soap. I have to admit, I've never been to a hotel that fancy to where they have these luxurious smelling soaps. But to some extent, I can see that. This fragrance is great, man. If you like patchouli, if you like myrrh, some sweetness, you know, kind of a soapy, clean, refined smell. Also, this one here needs to be at the top of your list. Young guys beware. It is mature. If you're a young guy, you may think it smells like your dad or even your grandpa. But if you're a mature guy who knows what he wants, Prada Amber Pour Homme Intense, this is top-notch stuff. So let's go over to the fresher side. Say you want a kind of a fresh, citrusy, maybe slightly aquatic scent with a good amount of class. I would encourage you to go here. Kenzo Homme Eau de Toilette. Sea notes, fir, sandalwood, and pine. So it has sea notes, aquatic notes, whatever you want to call it. But what else is there? Woody depth. And I'm telling you guys, woods and fragrances, men's fragrances, is one of the easiest way to give something class, to give something a high-end smell. This is a fresh sea note-based fragrance, but smelling it up in the air, the pine, the fir, those woods, it gives it a classy advantage. This one here will have you smelling more well put together than the guy wearing Acqua di Gio, or for the most part, any other mainstream aquatic fresh scent, and that's a fact. Now, maybe some of those others will be better compliment getters all around, but this one has that classiness down to a T. It's kind of unique. It's very refreshing. It's a scent that does not cost a whole lot of money. And Kenzo, they make some good stuff at affordable prices. Something classy for summertime. Check this out. Starting to get down to the end. Up next, we have a fragrance which I'm going to try to pronounce. You're going to have to correct me, probably, because I don't know. It's from Boucheron. It is Jaipur Eau de Parfum, I think. I'm not going to say it again, actually. Boucheron, you read the rest. EDP. Cinnamon, vanilla, nutmeg. Cinnamon, vanilla, nutmeg, and lemon. Yeah, lemon are some of the main notes. Smells nice, really nice. It's mature, okay? Not gonna be for the young guys. We've covered some of those. And I'm young, by the way, but I like fragrances like this. Guys who are just in college, they stumble across my video on accident. A lot of these are gonna hate. Go for the ones that I say are young guy approved. I'm an enigma for sure. I'm not like every other 22-year-old that's gonna like the mature stuff. This is mature, but it's really, really nice. It's spicy, it's a little bit woody, it has a lemon note, very strong, and so what that means is it kind of has this classic traditional smell. You know, the classic colognes that were released years and years ago with strong lemon. It's got all that going on, but I do like it. I like the Eau de Parfum more than the Eau de Toilette. I do have both. I prefer this one. Has a bit more richness, a bit more depth. This here is classiness to the max. And did I mention it is very affordable? This is shockingly cheap considering what you get inside the bottle. Give this one a shot. Second to last, we have Fahrenheit Parfum by Christian Dior. I love it. I will never get tired of this scent. I don't think I ever will. Smells great. Ozonic notes, vanilla, rum, suede, violet leaf. No ozonic notes, actually. Substitute that for the violet leaf. Although, to be fair, it does have an ozonic smell from the violet leaf, so I guess you can give that to me there. I love this stuff, man. It smells great. It is such an interesting mix that you may not expect. The vanilla, the rum, mixing with the violet leaf freshness, it's different. When I looked at the note breakdown before I picked it up, even I was thinking like, okay, how is this gonna work? I'm really curious to get this one. I got it in, I smelled it, and I immediately understood the hype surrounding this one. It's classy, it has that original Fahrenheit DNA, which is a bestseller, tried, tested, and proven, adding some sweetness along with it. I think this is a genius idea, and it is a genius fragrance. Who knows what's gonna happen to it? They may discontinue it just like all of their other good ones, Fahrenheit Absolute, Cologne 32, and Aqua. So if I were you, well, it's in stock for around $100, I might pick one up. And last up, last fragrance of the last video of the year. Made it a good one. This is Parfums de Marly Herod. Tobacco, vanilla, cinnamon, and incense. I love this stuff. Another one of my favorites. I can just pull this off, smell it, and be like, wow, that tobacco is rich. It's mixing with the vanilla and the incense so well. Man, that's good. This will be my scent of the day. Actually, when I was putting this video together here, getting everything pulled off the shelf to feature these, I picked this one up and I'm like, yep, scent of the day easily. It kind of sits behind some of my other Parfums de Marly's, not on purpose. It's just I only have so much room right there for them 3 rows, and you know, I've got some other stuff up front. It sits in the back, not because I don't like it. I like it a lot. It's just how it worked out. And so sometimes I can gloss over it. I don't see it. It's not sticking out right there. So sometimes I go a while without smelling it. I forget about it because I have a lot of other things, a lot of other tobacco fragrances. But when I pick this one up and I smell it, man, it's like the first time. Every time. I absolutely adore this fragrance. A fantastic tobacco scent. If you like tobacco and you want something sexy and classy at a price, but a very worthwhile investment, Parfums de Marly Herod is one you need to get. That's going to do it for me, guys. 10 intoxicating, sexy, classy, masculine fragrances. fit for a king. I will provide links to each and every one of these down below, along with the Fragrance Net 35% off link, so you can check these out for yourself, get the best deal on all of these. That 35% off link is in each and every one of my videos. A lot of times, if you just go to Fragrance Net, just type it in and go there, they'll only give you sometimes the 25% off. Sometimes I've even got 20% off, and there's been times where I was on a different browser and I had no discount code at all applied. They were giving me their marked up prices. And so you can go and Google the 35% off code, but it's always changing. You have to go through these weird websites which have a bunch of ads and it doesn't make sense. My link, 35% off, every time you click that, it automatically applies the best deal. Even if they have their 37% off code active, it'll apply that instead of the 35. So it's always giving you the best deal. Hit that up if you want some. That's going to do it for me. I hope you guys have a great New Year's Eve as you're watching this tonight. So drive safe. Don't be stupid. Be safe about it. Have some fun. It's been a great year for me. I hope it's been a great year for you. Again, I appreciate all of the support. You guys have changed my life in the best way possible, and I can't thank you enough. And next year is going to be even better. Thank you for sticking with me. Stay safe, stay healthy. We'll see you tomorrow with another one. Take care.